Today, we're going to talk about 5 things that I learned after recording my first video. Hey, thanks for coming back. I knew you would. We have a connection. I feel it. If you're new here, I'm so excited that you showed up. I don't know if I was recommended to you on your homepage or if you found me somehow, but either way, I'm excited that you decided to click. I hope you enjoy it. You'll find new episodes on here on Friday between 2 and 4. Okay, are you ready? Let's go. First off, the number one thing I learned was to look into the camera. Can you look into the camera? This is camera, and then this is the, what is that thing called on the side that you look at yourself to make sure you look good. Not supposed to look over there, which is so weird if you think about it when you first start. And I think a lot of times I'm looking at the red light above the lens up there. Most of my recordings, I've done 2, have been looking at the red light instead of looking at the lens. So yeah, number 1 is don't look at the viewfinder. Oh, viewfinder. I think that's what it's called. Just right there. And it's supposed to be eye level, which I think right now that's where it is. I'm not sure yet. This is all learning, right? We're going to learn one step at a time. Set the camera up in front of you, whether it's your iPhone or a camera. I'm using the Sony ZV-1. That was actually my daughter's and she gave it to me. I think this was her first YouTube camera. If you don't have a camera, you can always use your iPhone. The best thing to do is not record where you're seeing yourself, like the way you would normally look at yourself. I've done that, and then you have to flip everything, because if there's any writing or anything behind you that has any writing, it's going to be backwards. If you're looking at the lens, whether it's your camera, or whether it's your phone, don't flip it and look at yourself when you're filming. That's how you want to film it. Not the way you would film yourself looking at something. So that's number 1. The second thing I learned was my camera would record only in 10-minute segments. It would be 10 minutes and something, and it would cut off, and then it would start again. And so in one of my videos, it actually cut off a little bit of what I was saying, and there was no way to piece it together. I asked my daughter. She said, no, it shouldn't be doing that. And I recently went to see her and brought my camera, and I had just purchased a brand new card for the camera. And she said, I think that's what it is. I think it's the card. So here's another little tip. Make sure that the card that you're using, that's actually the card for the camera. Because I think I had a SanDisk card. It wasn't made for this camera, so it wasn't working the right way. But I bought a SanDisk that was made for this camera. She put it in, and now I can record for as long as I want. So yeah, make sure that you have the right stuff to go with, like whatever equipment that you might need. The third thing I learned after filming, you start editing. And the first thing I learned with editing is that there's so many different programs that you can use, but for free is iMovie. And I have a Mac, so it was the easiest thing for me to do. It's a good thing to start on. I mean, for me, there's just such a big learning curve for editing because I've never done it. And eventually I'll probably do a little video of the actual process. You download everything into iMovie. And the first thing you're doing is cutting out all your ums. You're cutting out all your and your hesitations and anything else that you don't want in the video. Maybe you had said something and then you decided, no, I don't want it. So you just cut that out. Took me the first time 4 hours. 4 hours. Just sitting there going, I want to cut this out. I want to cut this out. Because my first video, I just talked so much. I think it was like a 40-minute video. It turned out to be 8 minutes when I was done, which you can watch up here if you want to check it out. My daughter said that you can do title cards right in iMovie. I thought for some reason that they only come across your whole face. And I said, well, I don't want everything coming right across my whole face. You can't really make it the way you want. You can't change the font. You can't. And she was like, you can. So I did. Turns out, so in my second video, I used more of that. And then I also used transitions from iMovie. And I used the end card, which you can make, which I'm still working on. But there's just so much in editing that you can do that I didn't know you could do. So that was another thing that I learned. Editing was probably the most painstaking thing. I recorded on my birthday, and it took me a good week just to do most of the editing. Never mind then adding things that I wanted to add in there. Patience. I would say patience is something I learned for sure. That's not even one of my 5. It's just an extra. You have to have patience and sometimes walk away because it becomes frustrating sometimes. Although it's fun. It is fun because you're learning something new, and every time you do something, you're like, oh my God, I could do that. That's so cool. But at the same time, after a few hours, you're just like spent. You can't do another thing. Your mind is blown. Your fingers hurt. You need a break. So when it becomes a little overwhelming, or if you get frustrated or you can't figure out how to do something, I would walk away, either make myself a coffee or iced coffee, get some water, get a quick snack, and just kind of relax. Or I would do the dishes or a little laundry, because why not, right? And then usually I would sit down and pull up a YouTube video that explains how to do what it is that I'm having a hard time with, and just watch it a couple times. And if I still couldn't figure it out, well, then I text my daughter and say, help me, I don't know how to figure it out, help me, I'm poor. Because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And sometimes I could explain it to her in a text, and sometimes she would have to call me and say, I don't know what you're trying to do or what you're saying. And so she would explain it and walk me through it. So if you have somebody that you can do that with, great. If not, shoot me a comment. I'll try to help you. Okay, number 4 was I couldn't figure out how people were talking over things. I didn't realize that if you drop it above you, whatever clip it is or picture, and you're talking, it cuts away from you to that. I thought you had to put in a picture and then go back to where that picture was and do a voiceover. I didn't know how that worked. So that was something that I figured out by mistake. One of the other things that I learned was how to upload onto the YouTube platform, which honestly is not that hard. Download the file. So it opens up a window and it prompts you to put in your title, description, your other channels, like you either have another YouTube channel or your Instagram, your Facebook. The other really cool thing is you can schedule it. For instance, mine are going to be on Fridays. So every Friday there's going to be a new upload of a new video. So let's say I have 3 already done and I know what sequence they're going to go in. I can actually go in there, download them onto YouTube's platform, and then schedule them out. So Friday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, boom, video. The following Friday, boom. Do as many videos as you want, edit them, do everything you want to do to them, upload them to the platform, and then schedule them. And then you can just keep on going, which is something that I think I really want to do, so that I'm not struggling with like, oh my gosh, I got to film, edit, and upload. Okay, I got to head out. I'll see you later. I can't right now. What's going on? I'm just freaking, I'm not crazy. Oh, this is so dumb.